Hello again, my name is Drew Patterson, and this is segment 3 on how to sell through Craigslist. We've already gone through the first 2 segments, which went through actually cleaning the item to publishing the item on the internet. You've now posted your phone number or your email address, and now you're ready to screen some phone calls or emails on people interested in your item you're selling. Now, this part does get a little more difficult. And this is why a lot of people don't like to sell online, is they get a little uncomfortable about these next few parts. There is nothing to be uncomfortable about. The party wants something that you have. Now with emails, there's something called phishing, P-H-I-S-I-N-G. You can Google it, and basically, usually a phishing email starts out with somebody with a big long paragraph of how someone's going to be traveling to London or somewhere abroad, and they want to cut you a traveler's check for more than the amount you're asking for, and then you can return the money, and it's just weird. You're going to know the minute you get this email that it's spam. And this is actually pretty typical for Craigslist. There's no virus in it. Just don't click any of the links and delete the email. The real emails are going to include, people are going to either include phone numbers, and more likely than not, from my experience, the emails you're going to get are very short, like one sentence. I want your item. Are you available? Or are you ready to meet today? You know, it's going to be very short, to the point, and if they are human, they'll usually leave a phone number or, you know, some sort of call to action, like, oh, call me back, something of that sort. With phone calls, this is why I think it's important to leave your phone number in the ad. A lot of people don't want people calling you, but by putting your phone number in the ad, you're going to get through a lot of that gunk that I talked about with the emailing of the spam emails and things of that sort, as well as I think my personal experience is you will sell the item faster with a phone number, because a lot of times when people need the item you're selling, they want it now. You want to qualify the buyer. So I'm going to continue our example of the Kindle Fire. So somebody calls me, they say, hey, I'm interested in your Kindle Fire. The first thing I usually say is, yes, it's still available. They'll usually ask questions and you can answer them. Otherwise, I like to just make sure I ask them questions like, are you sure this is the model that you're interested in? To qualify them will save you time in the long run. After you qualify them and you know they're interested in your item, the next step is to meet. You can always ship an item, but through Craigslist, you're usually going to meet them. Now, some people will meet at their own homes, and other people go with the strategy of meeting them at Starbucks or a gas station. And I would highly recommend Starbucks or a gas station. Starbucks is a great spot, Pete's Coffee, a local coffee shop, because there's going to be people around. You don't have to worry about being robbed. It's just going to make a better transaction. And a lot of people don't like this about Craigslist, is that they have to meet somebody they don't know, and so they hire somebody like myself to sell it for them. And because I've done it before, I'm a guy, and of course, you know, got a little muscle. And so this is going to help you out. At this point, you have a buyer. You should have a way to contact them. Either I personally prefer a phone number, and you have a date and a time and a place to meet them to sell your item. At this point, before the date and time of your particular date, usually for me, 24 hours before you go to meet them, if it is on a further date, you want to confirm with them that you're still on for that date. It has happened to me numerous times where I've shown up for a transaction and the person was not there. I called them, they didn't answer, and I went home, and I might get an apology email a day later, like, oh, I'm sorry, I got caught up at work, or oh, I'm sorry, I decided I didn't want it anymore. And it was very rude on their part, but that doesn't matter because people will do. You should come in to the meeting. What is the lowest price you will take for this item today from this person? And do not go below that number. That is what you need to know. That is something you need to keep in your back pocket the whole time, and will guide you through the transaction. That firm or best offer on your ad. If you said firm and you're firm on your price, stick to your guns. Tell them you're firm. You may lose the deal, but that's part of selling. Now, and that's completely up to you whether you want to lower your price or you want to stay where you are firm. Now, if you put or best offer in your ad, At this point, the person's seen your item and they're still interested. Here comes the part on price. Now, with negotiating, you have the item. You've posted a starting price. Don't say anything else. Let them come to you and say what they're thinking. And if they just throw out a number, just say no, and it's not in your ballpark, say no, that's too low. This is where a good buyer comes in. If he's a good buyer, he's done his research and he knows what is the substitute products out there. He could say, oh, well, somebody's selling one here for this much money, and that's why I thought I'd pay you this, because I could go over there and get it for that. And if it's within $20, I'd say, well, I'm still competitively priced, and if you don't buy it from me, you're gonna have to go over there, waste your gas, waste your time, meet him, blah, blah, blah. You've already posted your price on your ad, so don't say anything. A lot of times I've done this, even with or best offer ads, they say, oh, let's say it was this and I posted for 80 or best offer. He said $80 and I say, yes, $80. And he says, okay, $80, and I got my full value. Some people might have said, yeah, or best offer. He's like, well, what's your best offer? Don't say anything until they say something to you. So know when to be a little flexible, and also know when to stick true to what you know. And look for good reasons. The buyer should have a good reason why you should pay a discounted price to what you're asking. Sometimes it takes being firm to your guns to finish the deal. I've had many times where I have told the person, no, this is the lowest price I'm going to take. And it finally boiled down to the point where I said, I'm sorry, we're not able to reach an agreement here, but thank you for your time. And I walk away, and as I'm walking away, they come running back and be like, no, I'll give you the price for what you want. And that will happen. So again, use those kind of guidelines, which is, be true to what you think it's honestly worth. Always take cash. Double check the cash. Please double check the cash. And third, when you check the cash, make sure it's real. If it's a $20 bill, look at it, make sure you see the strip in the $20 bill to know it's real. For the most part, 95% of the transactions I do are extremely clean, very professional. They're very easy to do. So, and again, you can avoid a lot of that scamming from just the screening process. You will usually know if a person is serious the minute you speak to them or talk to them in email. You can really kind of feel that usually guides the way the rest of the transaction will go. So if you really don't like the way something is turning out, you're probably right. I hope this section has helped you. I find this section the most interesting. You're always going to find different personalities, different negotiation styles, just all sorts of things that are dynamic to each and every person you interact with. And a lot of this just goes with practice and learning yourself. But if you keep those simple guidelines, you will be amazed at how easy it really is. And that's know your price before you go into the negotiation and pre-screening. A lot of the transaction is going to be the same from the beginning of contacting that person to the end when you have your money in your hand. Good luck. I hope you make lots of money. I hope you're very successful. I hope you share this knowledge. You share this video. Please comment below.